Saseni, welcome to Cele's Reflection. It's yet another Wednesday, so Cele's Reflection time. And today I have a guest with me, guys. Hii nayo mtapenda, ni kama ile ingine ya parenting kids. That one was... Thank you so much for your feedback, by the way. On all the episodes we've done, thank you so much. In case you want to come and be my guest, this is the email. And we are on Spotify. So, before niongee sana mgeni achoke, welcome. Karibu sana Cele's Reflection. Feel at home.
Okay.
Yeah, so tell us your name so that we can start.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Cele, for having me, and thank you for the audience that is about to watch this amazing show. My name is Winnie Nasiekupere. I am a psychologist. I have a private practice firm called Nasieku Therapy. We are on Instagram. Anything you need, you'll find us there. We deal with everything matters therapy. And today I am Cele's guest, and I am looking forward to delve into the topic we are about to have.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Meskia. So today it's going to be amazing. So karibu sana. We love guests. We love sharing knowledge. So today we're going to hear from you. And we want to discuss about parenting teens. Tuko holiday, kids are at home, teens are at home, watu wa high school wamekuja from Form 1. We know it's not an easy job, parenting. Sijafika kwa teens, but at least to the level that I am in, yes. I know it's not easy.
Yes.
So, how do we deal with these teens? Because kwanza sahi kuna social media. Tuanzie hapo kwa social media, tuingie tu mbio.
Yes.
So you see, me as a mom, I'm on TikTok. Then my teen is on TikTok. My babies are on TikTok. So how do we find this balance between you as a parent and your teens?
Okay, thank you for that. So, social media is here to stay. Social media is becoming a lifestyle, and we have to do the parenting with it. So it is for us to know how much is too much, and at what point do we say it's time to put your phone away. First of all, the main thing I can say is it's best if we all try not to lose the main thing, which is family time. So even if you're on social media, let the family time be one paramount thing that doesn't leave the moment social media checks in. So how do we do parenting with social media? We do it together. We bring it, so you parent and you do social media. I don't think we are in a place where we can say that my child cannot be on TikTok, because even if they are not on TikTok inside your house, outside their house, they will be another different personality and they will be on TikTok. So to answer your question, parenting and social media, they have to go concurrently. It is here with us to stay. It is just us to know how much is too much. Yes.
So I love that you've said social media is here to stay.
Yes.
Personally, I love social media because that's where I get my bread and butter.
Yes.
So maybe social media, to me, I'll be very happy to teach Tuki social media. Like, this is how it's done, Baba. This is how you create content. These are the, what do you call, transitions.
Yes.
These are the filters.
Yes.
Like, if it's going to help him, sindio mama Aziad. Aziad silimsaidia.
Yes.
So I love it from where I come from.
Yeah.
Basa kuna ile ya, where do we get that balance? And remember, we are talking about teens.
Yeah.
Your teens, see, kama mtoto wangu mdogo nitaeka ati YouTube for kids.
Yes,
ama
yes.
ati I can put some limits. So these teens, now where do we get that balance?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I can start by maybe defining what teen is.
Yeah.
Teen is between slightly, almost from 10 to way above almost 20 something. So the teenagers are like divided in 3 segments. There is the early teenagehood, there is the middle teenagehood, and there is the late. So each particular segment of teen has its own difficulty. Each particular segment, those three, what do I call them? The segments?
Yeah.
Yes. Those groups, they all have their own challenges. And it's like you're a different parent to each particular age set, you know.
Okay.
A parent to a 12-year-old is a different parent to an 18-year-old and 19-year-old. Because the parent of a 12-year-old, the 12-year-old still needs to be reminded, you need to take your medicine, let me take you to the doctor. But the 19-year-old doesn't need to be reminded. It's upon them to know that my dentist appointment is here and I need to go, you know. So if you're reminding your 19-year-old that the dentist said you should be here on this day, there's a problem. But if you see yourself reminding your 12-year-old, you are in the right where you're supposed to be, you know. So yeah.
So now they're at home, and you started by saying family time. We have to be very intentional with family time.
Yeah.
And kusema tu ukweli sahi.
Yes.
Daddy ako pale, ako social media.
Yeah.
The truth. We all know we are supposed to create time for that.
Yeah.
But everybody is on their gadgets. Kwa sahi hakuna teens, unaweza wapatia simu? I don't know.
Si wako nazo.
It's okay.
They have.
It is okay.
Yeah.
At what age, by the way? Nisipe wangu akiwa 12.
I once had someone say that their greatest regret was giving their child a phone before 18. But I feel like the way the world is going, at some point that phone must come because school si assignment inakuja. At some point your child has left the country and they need to connect. How will you still decide that because your child is outside the country, stampea simu? No, at some point you'll have to. It is just part of us. It is us to learn how to live with it.
So it's you to weigh.
It is you to weigh.
It is you as the parent to weigh.
Yes.
Sio si tukwambia ati sasa akifika 13.
Yes. Na kila mtu anajua mtoto wake.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Kila mtu anajua mtoto wake.
Yeah.
So we are told to have your intentional, your parent time bonding.
Yeah.
So kama sahi parent time yetu, for example, this is not me, but tunapata familia tunafanya challenge ya TikTok. Is that okay? Is that family time? Because saa tumekelea kwa meza tunafanya who does daddy or is that family time?
You know, family time is anything that is making you see your child laugh and you are the one who is the cause of the laughter, you know?
Okay.
You see, when someone is on TikTok in that corner, Instagram on this corner, kila mtu ako kivyake. Mko in one house, but you're not together, you know? But what is family time? Family time is when you say, today, let's do that challenge. Okay. Everybody is involved one way or another.
Okay.
Yeah. I once saw should have been somewhere, during dinner, when it's dinner time, the lady comes with a basket to collect all the phones. So that at dinner time is when I'm able to ask you, how was your day? Mommy, you look so tired, you know? What are you going through right now? Is when you're able to hear people and you're able to hear your own family members. So I decided that I'll take that up, but kwangu sijachukua masimu bado. Yes.
Okay, I love that because maybe they're just doing it wakuwe na hizo videos. Tunacheka sisi wote, wanatuchekesha sisi kwa familia yetu. Now I have this question. Teens are hard to, not all, but some, it's hard to penetrate. Like kumfanya onge. So kama sahi walienda form 1, walikuwa tumezoea kanao day school.
Yes.
So right now they are back tangu waende form 1, wako April holiday. So you want to get your baby talking. Maybe hamjakuwa mkiongea. Basa unashinda. Kama jana nimepatana na mwingine uko home. I don't know if I'm the one who was... Mama yake nitampea hii episode aone. So we met kwa njia nikitembea. So nikakumbuka linda form 1. So nikamuuliza maswali. So kuko aje? Poa. Wao kuingia drama? Hapana. Shule like one. I want him to start a convo, but there's no conversation. There's like tulitembea mpaka ikafika mahali kwa dead silent. Like sasa tutembee tu. Hakuna kitu ya kukuuliza juu. Anani put off mbio ama sijui ni personality yake. So how can are there ways that these parents we can do to our teens just to start a conversation, just to nijue ni nini, like how you feeling?
Okay. You see, teenagers, when that particular, let's call it a decade, it has a lot. You are sweating all of a sudden, your face has acne, you want to smell good, you are all of a sudden conscious that there's this boy who's told you you're pretty, there's so many things happening all at a go. You get? So all those things, when they're happening all at a go, they're happening physically, but more in your mind. So at that person, in that teenager's mind, their mind is one of the main, it's the one that is working more, you know? And for them, fear and shame are normally the topmost feelings in that particular decade, you know? So your question was, as a person, how can I be able to engage more with a teenager? The first thing, we used to notice our parents, anytime you tell them something, 2 seconds later, they've called their sister or their aunt. And it is you, the topic. Yeah. 1 week later, that weekend when you go, you're the joke of the family gathering. We unafanyanga hivi, ulifukuzwa shule, you get. So what am I saying? Number one, you need to make it safe, that your children know you are a safe space. You know, that I know that if I tell mommy this thing, she will die with it. Like, she's able to say, your teenager is able to come and say that,
yeah,
I've talked to mom and I know it won't go beyond. To a point, I've had scenarios where they say maybe it's our mother, the child has come in for therapy and they'd say, don't tell dad, and it won't get to dad. Or don't tell mom, and it won't get to mom. That particular parent has made it safe for the child to know that you can always come and tell me, na itaishia kwangu. You know? So the moment your teenager knows that itaishia kwangu, itaisha na mimi, when I tell you don't tell anybody, have you created a safe environment?
Yes,
you have created a safe environment. Another thing you can do is...
But let me say, let me ask, but I can say itaishia kwangu and I go ahead and ask a mommy friend.
Yeah.
But on the low key, na wewe usiambiane. Na yasia, because you see there are things I'll feel like, wacha nikaulizie.
Yeah.
Iko sawa msichana wangu ana, you know? Bora tu asijue ilisemwa.
Yes, there's the bora tu, you know. Because parenting, you know, it doesn't come with a manual.
Yeah.
It is, we used to be told, mtoto ni jamii, community.
Yeah,
you see? Yes, you have to understand, is it only my own child?
Yeah.
You know, you want to, so there's nothing wrong with that. The only mistake is the moment someone now decides they're going to pass Cele and call your own child, she does a consolation, you know, or something.
Okay.
You know, where your child will be wondering, Mom, I told you this in secret, you should have just kept quiet.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The other thing is?
The other thing you can do is try as a parent, you can try to listen more, you know. You see, you're raising a very different generation. And there's something that generation knows that you don't know. You see, the moment you start listening to that child, you're able to know how is their decision making. You know, that is where you'll know if I'm going to guide this child, natumia direction gun, you know. Because if you're always talking, you never get to know, how does my child think? You know, is my child, are they, if it's crossing the road, do they actually pay attention or they just cross? But you can't be able to know all that if you're always the one talking. Remember, teenagers they have a block. So they can actually allow you to talk. And once you're done, they'll go back to your room. You get? But if you allow them, if you are in a position of sitting and listening, you know, you'll be able to trust that child's decision making. I'll give you an example. I once had someone tell me that, I asked them, how is your child doing? How comes you've not gone to see them? And they're like, no, because I trust their decision making. It means that parent was able to sit with that child for long enough to know that no matter where this child goes, I trust their decision making. They can't do anything to harm themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. I think another thing as parents we can do is try to learn. You see the way you're saying about challenges? It's about the TikTok challenges. I think it's not only you who is going to sit and see the challenge on TikTok. Even them, they're on social media. They are seeing the challenge. There's a challenge I saw where mommy and daddy sit, and then the children are asked, who gives more money?
Yeah,
they point,
so
you know.
They put you inside. That was saying in a basin of water.
Yes.
Who is the toughest? They push mommy. They push. It's like they're punishing mommy.
Yes, you know. So when you are in a position to learn about your child, you know, you're in a position to learn more. Let me give you another example. You come home and say, hey, I'm stressed about this client. And then you ask your child, how do you deal with stress? And then you pay attention. It's not like you're expecting your child to advise you, but you're able to learn if this child is under stress, watafanya. You know, you are learning more. And while at it, it is like you're trying to build this conversation. See, the question here is, how can you open up the conversation with the teens who are blocked? You know, I think another thing we can say is when they make a mistake, because this particular age is like an outcast, quote unquote, to some degree, they can make you annoyed, you know? And when they make you annoyed, what is it that you tell this child? Do you say, unakuanga hivi? You are like this. Wewe ni kama sijui nani wa kwao. You know, do you devalue this particular child? So when you're correcting, is it possible to correct the mistake, but don't devalue the child? You know?
So hey, that is hard because our
Is it?
parents walikuwa unafanya kama
Come,
like they hurt
exactly.
your feelings hata makosa ujaiona.
Yes.
So you're just hurt.
Yes.
You feel
You feel
like I'm a lesser.
devalued.
Exactly.
Yes.
So how should I correct that kid? Like an example.
Yes. For example, these children can make crazy.
Hajaosha vyombo.
Yes. Okay, hajaosha vyombo. Is it that you walked in early? Ulikuwa umesema zioshe saa 8.
Exactly. Uliambiwa uoshe vyombo leo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uliambiwa uoshe vyombo leo, you know? And hajaosha. Our parents, you would not know that haujaosha vyombo. Slippers from the other side is what would have reminded you hujaosha vyombo. You get? But we are raising a very different generation. The moment you hit them with that slippers, immediately it turns from, my mom is abusive. Yeah. I have a toxic mom, you know. It turns to that, you get? So how can you do it different? To me, what I would say you do different is, why don't you stop and ask, what's your plan on the vyombo? Because it's your responsibility. And then they will give you a plan. And then trust that they've had, you know.
But my nini was, before nirudi mko umeosha vyombo. So what's your plan?
Yeah, what's your plan? It's actually a question you can ask. What's your plan? Unapangaje?
So what I said was...
No, maybe they had assignments they're catching up on.
Okay.
You get? Maybe there was wewe ukiwa na movie una watch. Si unasemanga nitaziosha, nitaamka.
Hey, tumefika hapo. Tumefika hapo.
You get? I don't think that kuna hiyo leniency to that degree. But this particular age, you can't beat a 19-year-old.
True.
You know, there's...
Hata wewe ukijeka kwa hiyo kiatu akwambia alikuwa na watch movie. Hata wewe kuna movie inazafanya usioshe vyombo, si ndio?
Kuna movie inafanya usioshe vyombo, you know. And like I've said, you're raising a very different generation. This particular generation here, these days, is very outspoken. You know, it is very outspoken. It expresses, let me say, it is expressive. Wataji express, you know. So, do you want to have a quiet child in the house that the only time they express, you hit because you're saying, unajua as if we expressed ourselves, we'd say, you are told, you're arguing with me,
You're
arguing with me. You know, you're arguing with me, you know. Is it that, are you still there where when the child is trying to express themselves, you're still in the place of, why are you arguing with me?
Most of us, we're still there because we're using that, iyo mwakenya wazazi wetu, the market.
Yes.
Unfortunately, most of us, we are trying to learn these new things.
Yeah.
Mimi najua mamangu alisema vyombo ukisikia na kama unaruka kwa hiyo sink. There's no time to express yourself.
Yes.
See, that's how things work.
Yes.
So we are trying to change, which is...
Yeah. But while you're trying to change, wewe kama mzazi, what is it that you're doing? Have you taken care of your own projections?
Okay.
You know, are you in therapy? You know, are you healing? Because you could be projecting to that child, you know, on that child. Every time they refuse to do vyombo, you checking into, instead of checking in as Cele, you check in as Mama Cele. And you start throwing words, you know, and then immediately the child is feeling some type of way and they're wondering, kwani nini nakwanga shida ya mom? You see, or they say mom always comes home annoyed. You get? But you as a parent, what are you doing to heal yourself? Because we were also in a different generation from our parents. We have a lot of healing to do, you know, from words. You know, words, you are wounded with words. As we didn't think kuchapwa is toxic, but we were wounded from words. You know, some of the things that you as a person went through, you've had, you've seen cases where you're told unakaka babako, you know, where a child is told unakaka kama baba yako. And just because probably went through, your mom had gone through something, you know. So, as a parent, what are you doing? How much effort are you making in yourself? You know, I have seen parents who've checked into therapy and immediately they start, because they are self-aware enough, it's hard for them, for their anger to be triggered. It's hard for them to deal with a child bitterly. You know, it's hard for them they're parenting with a lot of love. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
Now things have changed.
Yes, now things have changed.
So I feel like we all need this therapy at some
We do.
point.
We do.
Because majority of us tuko na hiyo ya nitakugonga na nitakuchapa. So now that they're at home, we have seen there's a way these teens now.
Yeah.
I hope I have a few teens who are watching. There's how they tend to deal with these things.
Yeah.
So wewe umemgonga, umemchapa, yamenyamaza. Like hakuongea, hajasema. Of course this baby has been hurt.
Yes.
Like umehurt feelings zake.
Yes.
Kama umemfanya aka feel useless. You've said their name is fear and
shame.
Yeah. So umemfanya feelings zake zikashuka. Hana
umemchapa mbele ya watu akaaibika.
Bas, hana simu kwa estate.
Yeah.
Unaona, wakitoka nje yeye ndo like uko nje world ni different. So
yes.
What is different kuliko na venye iko kwa hao yao. There's how these kids, there's how they project these feelings.
Yeah.
How can we, what are some of these ways that we can spot? Teen wangu venye ana behave, something is wrong.
I will speak from the one that I've seen on my desk very often. There is this thing called self-harm, where the child or the teenager is harming themselves to remove those feelings from inside to somewhere, yani uchungu itoke ndani, iende somewhere they can see. So some of the things they can see is you can see your child is cutting themselves, piercing themselves, they're
like
biting their skin. Yes, like on the skin. They are burning themselves. I've had one who's burning themselves, The point is to remove the feeling, the pain. Ushai heartbreak you? How does that feel?
It's painful.
Is there Panadol that can cure the heartbreak? So now wishingi there's some more pain could come, live inside to come outside,
Yeah.
That's the same thing. They are wishing that emotional heaviness to live outside to come somewhere. So what they do is it's like they're transferring the pain to the skin. So that's why you would see you'd see a child, they don't want to show their skin, All of a sudden they hate the things that they used to do. They hate swimming because it's exposing their skin where they've cut themselves. They've withdrawn. They just stay in the room. They don't want anything. You see, I've seen one where it should be called, it's called digital self-harm, where you go online and you abuse yourself to see who is going to stand up for me.
Oh.
It's a thing. You just want to see nani atanitetea. So you have a pseudo account where you body shame yourself, and then to see which friend of mine is going to come and speak for me.
So what happens if nobody speaks for you? Because we know how the social media is.
Yes, immediately you start feeling, I'm not loved. This is for real. Now I'm not loved. Nobody cares. Nobody notices. Who is noticing I'm crying? In fact, mom is too busy on her phone. She doesn't know I'm crying up in the room. So yes, your question was what are some of the ways.
So once you see such things, at least as a parent,
yes,
there's something that is amiss.
Yes. And the moment you notice that your child has stopped enjoying things that they loved doing, it's not time to say, na squeeze you may change. Ukwaje squeeze. It's not time to trivialize them, There's a better way. We normally call it rephrasing. There's a better way you can mention your concern without trivializing the feeling. You see, you can say something like, I have noticed that these days you don't like going for swimming anymore. I wonder if there's something making you not enjoy.
See, squeeze you may change.
See, squeeze you may change. Squeeze you may change, you make the wall go up. And now they decide that mom will not notice I've changed. Ni swimming too, nataka niende. I'll just get out, I'll carry my clothes, but I'll never swim. They get? Yes.
So if you're more specific,
yes.
Squeeze hauchezi na kina nani.
You don't even come down, we eat dinner together. Hauchezi na kina nani. But the way you're saying it, you're not saying it, it's like everybody else is better than you.
It's like she's the problem.
It's like she's the problem, that's the word,
Yeah.
You're just trying to rephrase, to show the teenager that, what, I think I'm noticing a change. And remember we said go in for therapy, you as a parent, heal. And the moment you start having these conversations, your child is saying, she's safe, I'm safe with, I'm able to tell her I need help, or shule nabuliwa, or I don't feel like myself lately, na feel I don't know how my body looks, Yeah.
No, unajua venye wengi wote wametublock WhatsApp status.
Kublokiwa mta stay blocked, but what I believe is, you see, for example, if your teenager is in therapy, they will probably not block their therapist, because therapist wao ako anaona status na ni yeye ni safe space wao. most of the DMs that come from the teenagers, they don't come in during the day. They come in saa 5 usiku, saa 7 usiku, because saa hiyo ndio amekaa akareflect, nyewe na niko na shida. Then they ask you a very random question. Do you think I have a problem? Or something like, I don't think my friends like me anymore.
Wow.
And you know, easy conversations na teenagers, they are never had like in such a formal setting. Kuja, we used to give as an example, kuja tugi, tukae hapa. Ati sasa ongea na mimi, it will never happen.
It won't.
It won't happen. Lakini when you're in your car and you're taking a drive, unajua,
that's when they...
Yes, because first of all, kumbuka anajua macho yako, hautampea a weird look.
Uko kwa barabara.
Uko kwa barabara. Tunatumia ni masikio, you know? And that is where, na ukiambiwa vitu, si saa ya kushtuka. Digest too. You know, just keep digesting, you know? So, easy conversations, they never come. It's something, now I'm saying from what I have noticed. Hata kwa therapy, sasa zingine tutaongea and you realize how penny you're not getting into this chat.
Lakini usiku WhatsApp,
you get a very random text. I think I need to come in tomorrow. And you're wondering what's going on. Oh, I think I forgot to mention something. Or they send you a photo of how they've been harming themselves. And you're like, what's this? What am I looking at? Because you don't want to assume what you're looking at. You probably are supposed to be looking at the photo behind that hand. And
not that smart.
Not that, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's the self-harm that I didn't know. I didn't know, I swear. I don't know if it was there during our times. Our times ulikuwa unatoroka. It's like what we are doing nowadays, mtu mzima akiwa na stress anaenda kuchapa chupa mbili tatu.
Yes. Lakini hao wana nini? Them, they can't show up drunk. They are not even allowed to buy the alcohol, maybe.
Yeah, they are not.
Yes.
They are not.
Yeah.
So that's what they are doing.
That's what they do.
So now that they're at home, the kids are at home, the teens are at home, the parents, well, they're still working. What is that one thing unaweza waambia iwalete pamoja kiasi? Because we are struggling and we are busy working.
Yeah.
Tunatafuta school fees next term.
Yeah.
So rarely will we get time to even spot some of these things.
Yeah.
We are intentional. We know. We are woke. Tunajua kukua intentional. So we are trying to get time with them. But tunataka utuambie maybe something that tunaweza fanya at least tupatane mahali hata wakirudi shule waseme na hii holiday madhe na mzae kuna change. Yeah.
Okay. I think it was you on your stories. I saw a parent who came with a child at the gym. It was on your stories. Yes.
Yeah.
So the teenagers we're talking about, most of the time, because it's this age nika inasumbua, you know. But when we change our perception on them, because this is your child, you can't throw away your child, and start being more involving, you know, in their own activities. You know, you involve yourself in your own activities, and you involve them in your own zako sasa, you know. So that way, number one, you'll be able to spend more hours with them. The moment you, let's say, assuming during this shoot, and they're here and they be told something like, hold for me the microphone, or help me with the setup, they've seen what's a day in mom's life like, you know. So when mom comes home tired, this is what she means. Then all of a sudden, the next day you come home and they know that your day looks like this, they are more accommodating. And they change the perception from mami
uchoka kila saa.
Mami unashindanga kama umechoka tu. I think I understand what's it being you know. When you stay home and decide, I'm staying home to spend time with you, there's nothing wrong with watching a movie together. You know, of course, you preview the movie so that you don't get your awkward moments. There's nothing wrong with watching a movie. It's not fun being an quote-unquote old parent. Play football with your child. There's like do outside activities away from being online, away from being on your phone, you know. I have seen something on social media where people buy something that you paint word by word. I don't know if you've seen it. There's something it's like a diagram, then it comes with the paintings, yes. And then it comes with very many numbers. And then number 1, 2, 3 is supposed to go color orange.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So it brings a lot of concentration and a lot of, umefikisha yako wapi? Umefikisha yako. You guys have found time to do it. So you're able to involve each other, you know. When you're making, let's say pancakes. Ask them, by the way, how do you like your pancakes done? You see, oh, do you know anything about pancakes? And then they say, yeah, me, I'd like mine situkule zako leo. And then in the kitchen, you're able to catch up more, So some of the things you can do, the holiday is big. I don't think viewing your own child as, hii holiday ni refu is an option. You don't have that option, Change your own perception as a parent and decide that I think this is the best time to have my child. I've not had them. I don't know who they've become. I don't know the changes they've undergone, but I'm ready to experience all these changes. The moment you change your perception about that, immediately you're in a more accommodative state as a parent. So when they come in, even the atmosphere in that house is different, because they're saying, Mom is ready for me. And I think parenting goes beyond, I'm able to buy you the best thing. It goes to, Mom is actually able to see me. I once had a client who told me she feels invisible in the house. Like, everything is provided, but for her, she's invisible. And I asked her, how did you learn that? And they said, I think they had a tattoo somewhere, and the parents had never seen it. And I mean, would you miss a tattoo on Tugi? It's hard for you to miss. By the time you're getting to miss that tattoo, for sure that child feels invisible. The only time you're seeing them is when you tell them umekonda, or the only time is the only time they're visible to you is when they've made a mistake or they are not who you expect them to be. So this holiday, the one thing I'd urge parents is, can we change our, number one, how we view our teenagers, And then the second thing, let's be practically available. I know we are making money, but
busy
making money. And I mean, if they lacked that phone, they'll wonder, the way they normally say, when people are stealing land, where were you?
Where were you?
So they'll start asking in a few years, if you don't make the money, that is the question. But the moment you show them, this is what my day looks like, you can come with me. And today I'm staying with you at home. I want to see how your day looks like. They'll tell you, and I watch movie, nitafanya hivi. So be in each other's lives intentionally, not to step on each other, but be happy in each other's lives. Teenage is fun. I mean, it's the Gen Z that we have. They are fun people, However, unless you change your perception about them, if you don't change your perception, they'll be annoying to you. But if you change your perception and decide, let me learn today, like what's it being you, then it will be better. Wow. Yes.
I love that one. Change your perception. Because I think that's where most of us are. Shule zinafungwa wiki ngapi? Wiki nne.
Hizo zote.
Wiki nne mnatupia like unachoka na week one, day one.
Yes.
Because your mind inakushow mtoto sasa. Instead of seeing it as the other way, we can go for a family holiday.
Yeah.
Like instead of looking for activities for those 4 weeks.
Yes.
Ulishachoka. Ukisikia with the... I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. But now there's... After you've done all this, and maybe now you want to see you, I want to come and see you, because maybe I feel like yetuni ina need extra attention. I need my baby to WhatsApp you at night. I need my baby to have someone who
they can call anytime.
Unaweza kuwa ananiambia lakini mimi siwezi help. Kuna zingine zanipata pia nataka someone we discuss as a team. Alikwambia hey, na mimi amekuwa akifanya. So how can they come to you and reach you for hizo zenye ziko special?
All right, thank you for that. I will give my number. You'll write it. It will be down here. That's how you guys do it.
Down here.
and then on social media, I go by Nasieku Therapy. Actually, across all social media platforms, we have.
You're on TikTok?
Yes, I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. Facebook inakwanga. Facebook and everywhere. So Nasieku Therapy. That's how you'll find me as. And then we have the individual therapy, where that's one-on-one. We have couples therapy. That is you and your partner. We have there's something I call the relationship therapy program. This one goes for 8 weeks, and it doesn't matter whether you're married or you are dating. You come, we have conversations on intimacy, trust, conflict, everything. There are 30 conversations, everything involving a relationship. And I have seen it work, because at the end of the day, after those 30, the next time you guys are going to have a conflict, you know what to do, because you have a resource. Okay. And then the other thing we do is we have something we call the high value woman conversation. This one in particular is for women. They go for 3 sessions where it's like you are doing an inside. You see, women are perfect in the outside. But inside, you can find someone is bitter, is this and that, So it's like you're doing an inside check-in to say that I want to be this kind. I don't want to be aggressive. Even if I'm aggressive, I want it to come a bit, So it's called the high value woman conversation. It is a 3-session conversation. Another thing we do is we do the corporate counseling.
So the high value one, I think I'm interested in that one. 3 sessions, you mean we are done in a week?
We are done in a week. You
just
can come
3
in
sessions?
Just 3 sessions. You can come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you've done
a lot.
You've
of
washed inside. Yes.
I'll come for that one.
You're welcome. You're able to do those values that are inside, and after that you're able to know, am I a bitter woman? Am I angry? How do I just make myself better? Even if I'm well outside, your inside needs to be best, and that is what makes people pop. We have the corporate counseling where we help people with stress management and burnout and anything that involves work. Another thing we have the group therapy. We are trying to create an online community for online support for teens, young adults, even the older ones, where they are able to know this is my support group. I'm sure you see the support groups when you watch movies, Amaju.
Yeah,
wanakanga hivyo. Sasa because most people are not around, we can do it online. Another thing we have is I have a YouTube channel. Ooh. And I'm on Spotify. Yes, that one is called Therapist Desk Today. So there I get a topic, I discuss it, and in wholesome, and you're able to listen, you're able to understand, and if you have any questions, you can leave the questions or you can always call me. Yes, and we offer rehabilitation services. Yes, for anyone who has drug problems, and rehabilitation is not only drugs. Rehabilitation is sex, is you feel like you need a minute from social media. Yes, we offer those kind of services.
Wow.
Yes.
You offer a lot of services.
We are a whole.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So I'm sure everybody has seen where you fit in. If there's a part you felt I fit in there, kama you are 3. Hiyo mimi na fit in hapo. I would love to come for that.
Ni slide kwa ndio mama
slide. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for even coming to grace our show, for your time. Tunashukuru sana. Na najua hiyo knowledge, whatever you've said, haitaanguka bure. There is someone, including me, nikifika hapo kwa teenage.
Yes.
I know what to look out for. And at least I have some Mwakenya.
Yeah.
A new Mwakenya.
A new Mwakenya.
Not the one for our parents. Yeah.
I'm currently mastering clinical psychology at Daystar, and I know the knowledge is even going to be wider and better.
Wow.
Yes, because parenting has no manual. It is every day.
It never stops.
Yes.
So after teens, we go to
young adults.
Yes. Alafu tukuje sisi kwetu.
Tukuje sasa sisi kwetu.
So our moms are still parenting us.
Yes, they are still parenting. We go to these 20s where you are just living life on the highway. And then you check into your 30s where you're wondering, did I waste time? Was it the best thing I did? Is the one who got children earlier better?
But is there something like wasting time?
I don't know. I think it depends. I feel like as long as you've gotten the experience, what did you learn?
Yeah, there's no wasting time.
There's no wasting time,
There's no wasting time. Whatever you did, you learn something from that.
It becomes wasting time the moment you start comparing yourself with other people. Yes. Yeah. Is when you feel like, did I?
I think tutafanya wasting time.
Tutafanya hiyo.
Which is the right time to get married? Which time is the right time to... Anyway, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Cele, for having me.
Thank you for watching, guys. See you next week on Cele's Reflection. Bye-bye.
Bye.